Hey y'all, it's Stacey. Welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're making my chocolate cherry pistachio pecan cookies. It's a mouthful, but they're so delicious. Now, to get started, I went ahead and I creamed together 1.5 cups of dark brown sugar and a cup of unsalted butter. To this, I'm going to add 1 egg and a teaspoon of vanilla. And we're just gonna mix this enough just to get it combined together. Now, when you're creaming the butter and the sugar together, it's gonna take several minutes. You want to see that color lighten up and ensure that we've gotten both of those ingredients all combined really well. Once this is done, we're gonna move on to our dry ingredients. There we go. What I'm gonna do is I've got 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour here. To this, I've got 3/4 cup of baking powder, a teaspoon. I've got 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. I've got 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna whisk this together just to kind of get those dry ingredients combined. And then it's gonna go right into our butter mixture along with 1.5 cups of quick cooking oats. Just gonna give this a mix. Now let's talk about our mix-ins. To this, as the recipe title implies, we're going to add some pecans, some pistachios, some chocolate chips, and some dried cherries. Now what I did is I've got about 1 cup of cherries that I've coarsely chopped that are gonna go right in the mix here. I've got about 1/2 cup of pecans, and they're just pecan pieces, they're coarsely chopped. 1/2 cup of roasted salted pistachios, and about 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Once again, we're just turning the mixer back on to get them all combined. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna portion this out into about 1/4 cup measurements because we want pretty big cookies here. The thing is that you can go with them directly just like this. What I'm gonna do is I've got a large cookie scoop here. This just kind of helps us control the portion. You can also use a 1/4 cup dry measuring cup. I'm gonna portion this out, roll it into a ball, and this can go directly on our lined baking sheet just like that. Or if you really want that kind of gourmet cookie look, like they came from a great bakery, what I did here is I've got about 1/2 cup of the pistachios, the cherries, the pecans, and the chocolate chips, and just take the ball of dough and just kind of press it into here and just pick up some of those ingredients that'll go right on the top. What you're also gonna wanna do is press these down to their about 1-inch thickness. These are gonna go in a 350-degree oven for 15 to 18 minutes. I've got some already done here and you can see how this looks. You're gonna wanna cool these on this baking sheet for about 10 minutes and then you can move them onto a wire rack. Folks, you can find this full recipe on the website at southernbite.com. Y'all enjoy.
Mary, I don't even know how to describe these cookies. There's so much going on in your mouth when you try them. I'll just say they're fantastic.
And I agree. If you like a sweet and salty combination, you've got to try them.
These cookies are a Stacey Little original too. He saw something similar online and decided to try to recreate it, but as often happens, he got a little carried away and came up with what may now be my favorite cookie of all time.
There's an amusing story Stacey wrote about creating these. If you'll go to southernbite.com, you can read about it and print out the recipe.
And a special thanks to our friends at Pistachio Pecans for sponsoring this week's recipe.
Thank you for joining us again today for Simply Southern. Next week, we'll meet a man who creates beautiful wood crafts at the rate of 1,000 RPMs.
And we'll show you how a cotton gin hit by a tornado last spring was rebuilt in record time and never missed a cotton harvest. I'm Kevin Worthington.
And I'm Mary Wilson. We hope you'll join us then.
Simply Southern is produced by the Alabama Farmers Federation and made possible with the support of Alabama Farmers Cooperative and these sponsors.